You wake up Sunday morning. You grab your phone, same as always. But your timeline isn't talking about last night's scores. It's not about fantasy. It's not about the injury report. One hashtag everywhere. Hashtag NFL is over. And it's not a joke.
Here's what nobody tells you about the NFL. You don't love football. You love what football does to your life. Sunday has a smell. Wings, coffee going cold because you forgot about it, leather couch, your buddy's cologne because he came over 3 hours early. Again. You don't think about any of this consciously, but take it away. Your nervous system notices before your brain does. That's not fandom. That's conditioning. Years of it. Psychologists call it a behavioral anchor, a ritual so deeply wired into your weekly identity that removing it doesn't just change your schedule, it changes your mood, your sense of time, your sense of self. And most NFL fans have no idea this is happening to them right now. But that's just Sunday. What about the other 6 days? Because the NFL doesn't just own one day, and what it does to the rest of your week is something almost nobody talks about.
Here's a polarizing truth, and I know half of you are going to disagree with this. The NFL is the last thing holding America together. Not politics, not religion, not social media, football. Think about it. When was the last time 100 million people, different races, different incomes, different beliefs, all stopped what they were doing and watched the same thing at the same time? Super Bowl Sunday. That's it. That's the only moment left in modern America where the country is genuinely, undeniably unified. Take that away, and you don't just lose a sport. You lose the last shared language Americans have. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because if the NFL disappears, something will fill that void. Something always does. The question is, what? And will it bring people together the same way? Because history suggests it won't. And the proof of that is hiding in a place most people never look.
Most people assume another sport steps up. Basketball, soccer, maybe something new. That's the misconception. No sport is structurally built the way the NFL is. One game a week. Every game matters. Every single Sunday is a mini championship. That tension, that once-a-week explosion is engineered. It's not an accident. Remove it and replace it with something that plays 82 games a season, the urgency evaporates. The ritual dies. Here's the concern nobody's asking. What happens to the towns that are the NFL? Green Bay, Wisconsin, population 107,000. The Packers aren't the town's team. The Packers are the town. Literally, the community owns the franchise. No other American pro sports team works that way. Take the Packers away, and Green Bay doesn't just lose football. It loses its entire economic identity, its cultural identity, its reason people stay. And Green Bay is just one city. There are 32 of them. But here's what I haven't told you yet, and this is the part that actually got to me when I was researching this.
It's not the touchdowns. It's not the Super Bowl halftime show. It's not the highlight reels or the MVP trophies. It's the Monday morning at work when your coworker, the one you have nothing in common with, leans over and says, "Can you believe that fourth quarter?" And suddenly you have something, a bridge, a moment of genuine human connection in a world that increasingly has fewer and fewer of them. The NFL gives strangers something to say to each other. In a country that's becoming harder to talk across, that is not a small thing. That is enormous. And that Monday morning conversation, you can't download it. You can't manufacture it. You can't replace it with a podcast or a highlight clip. It only exists because 100 million people watched the same thing the Sunday before. Gone. Just like that.
But here's the thing. The NFL isn't gone. And maybe, just maybe, thinking about a world without it makes you realize what you actually have. A sport that does something no algorithm, no streaming platform, no social media app has ever managed to do. It makes 100 million people feel something at the exact same moment. That's not entertainment. That's magic. So this Sunday, when you're on that couch, wings in hand, yelling at the screen, remember this video. Because you're not just watching football. You're part of the last great shared experience on Earth.
Don't take it for granted. Drop your team in the comments. Let's see who's repping what. And if this video made you think, subscribe. Because this is exactly the kind of rabbit hole we go down every single week.